My name is Mayowa Oluyede, the founder of MS Estate and the creator of Property Millionaire Blueprints. Beyond Wealth, I'm here for the first time and I think it's been amazing. The program is going according to plan. The first two speakers have really wowed us, and I'll be talking about real estate as well. I'm going to be sharing what are the things that people should look out for in the coming year and the next decade. I believe if you really want to create wealth, it's all about investing in real estate and doing it very well. So I'm going to be sharing some of the strategy that will make you win in the next decade. Beyond creating wealth, we believe that you should also be able to give something back to the society, because broke cannot help broke. So that's why we want to make you wealthy, and when you are wealthy, give back to the coming generation so that you can leave something as a legacy when you leave this world. God bless you. The very good book that I love says money answers all things. So we need to have enough to be able to do good. You know, if every one of us there were multi-millionaire, some things you won't talk too much, you just solve that problem. There are children in Africa who need, I don't know about you, I get calls and calls, text messages, WhatsApp, almost on a weekly, daily basis. Even those you don't know, they connect with you on the Facebook and they want you to be a blessing to them. And for me personally, it's one of the agenda in my life that I must be able to give back to society. Because it's not about creating wealth. It's easy to create wealth. It's easy to make money. It's just for you to follow some principles. All over centuries, the strategy to create wealth has not changed. It's just improving in every generation. So it's the same principle. It doesn't matter if you are rich, you are poor, you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, the same principles. Those who are wealthy today that we celebrate the lives of Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, they just follow that principle, and it doesn't matter what you do. Some of them, Warren Buffett is in stock market, Bill Gates is into computer, tech, but these people are billionaires today, and one thing that stands them out, they are able to give substantial part of their wealth to humanity. Will it not be great if you and I can support the great vision that our sister is championing? Beyond wealth, you've made that money, but give back to your community, to your society. Leave your own legacy that people will say, yes, you came to this world, this is what you've given back. And I'm going to be sharing with you few things that I think might just help you in your real estate journey. I've done real estate for 32 years of my life. I'll turn 51 early part of this year. In the next few months, I'll be 52. But one thing that I know that is real estate. You can feel it, you can touch it. No matter what the economy, Brexit or no Brexit, if you have a working strategy for you, you will build wealth every day, every time of your life. And I know there are seasoned investors there, but I'm going to share something with you that probably you've not seen in any book that will make your real estate journey very interesting. But before going there, I'm just going to share a little bit about my journey in this country. I migrated to the United Kingdom in December 2000, and when I came into this country for holiday, and I decided not to go back since then. Yes, I do go and come back, but I just decided to make United Kingdom my home. Why? Because I saw opportunity. And the opportunity in this country is immense. It's there, if you can see it. People complain over every time, but I don't complain. I just thank God for what my life is turning out to be, because I don't know what it could have been if I'm still back where I came from in Nigeria, but I can see opportunity, which every one of us also can tap into. If you just need to believe that there's opportunity in the land. One of my catchphrases is that the city of London is paved with gold. Can you see? Or the city of London has your money. Have you discovered where your money is? There's money everywhere. Practically anything, you can become a millionaire in this country. Cleaners are millionaires. Security people are millionaires. I used to be a security guy at the BBC. So when I was doing security for like 4 or 5 years, I got tired of doing that. I said, look, Mario, you are better than this. You are a surveyor back home. You are a trained chartered surveyor. What else can you do? Why not stick into your profession? And that inner self said to me, stick to this. This is where your goal is. And since then, I've not looked back, and God has been so awesome. So, I'm going to be sharing with you what I've tagged the opportunity of the next decade. Almost every one of us here now will either be in our early 40s or early 50s, or some are above 50 plus. But add 10 years to your age today. Add 10 years to your age. You see that some of us will enter retirement. In fact, these days, there's nothing stopping you to retire at 55. I want to retire fully, maybe at that age. You know, some might want to retire at 60. But if you don't plan the next decade, the economy of this country will plan it for you. That's the truth. And the economy of this country cannot sustain your retirement. So it's important that you take that decision and plan your future yourself. That's the beginning of a new decade. And it's going to be great. So, but add 10 years to that will be 230. Some of us, our children will be getting married. Some of us will be nursing our grandchildren. So there's a lot to do beyond just creating wealth for yourself. But will it not be nice in this decade you are not thinking of where's the money going to come from? You dictate, you live life in your own terms. You want to walk when you want to walk. You want to do what you want to do. You want to travel all over the world. You want to enjoy life. You want to serve God. You want to serve humanity. And that is what is possible for every one of us sitting here this afternoon. And what has done that for me is real estate. Anywhere in the world, it's the same principle. Apart from some parts in Africa where raising funds is very, very difficult. But if you are going to be using real estate as your strategy, I'm going to share something that I call the CALAD model. For you to become a property millionaire, you only need about 4 properties if you live in London. 4 properties. I'll come back to share this. For simplicity, we're just going to say 250,000. It's easy. It's difficult to get a property for 250,000 today in London. Within the zone 1 to 6 is, 2-3 bedroom will be about 350 average, but let's just use 250 for simplicity. And the reason why I'm using that, it adds up to 1 million. Some of us, it might be, even if it's 300,000, it'd be 1.2 million. But what I want to express is the fact that property doubles every 8 to 12 years in this country. And don't take my words for that. You can go to the Office of National Statistics. You will see there, you can track for the last 3, 4, 5 decades. You realize that property double in price. Erica is there. She's seasoned property professional. And some of you that have bought property in the last 10, 15 years, just ask yourself, what was the price you bought for it, you paid for it, and what is the value today? You realize that it has doubled. If it has not doubled, it will be close to that. And some of them say, I don't live in London. It will still double. But it depends on what strategy you are using to acquire property when you buy properties. So if you have 1 million assets, it doubles in 10 years, that's 2 million. And what makes real estate cool is because of all the benefits that it brings or gives to us. All day long, I want to be investing because of the cash flow. Every time you are buying real estate, it's not because the kitchen is good, the toilet is good, it's spacious. No. Will it produce? Will it give you money? This is my number 1 reason why I invest in real estate. No matter what the economy is down, is high, can it give you cash flow? If it's not giving me cash flow, I walk away. And that cash flow is not £100, £200, no. Anything minimum, it has to be £400, £500. I want it to be at least £400 to £500. Because if I put my money in the bank, they pay me interest. If I invest in stock and shares, I get dividends. So if I take my earned income and put it in property, it needs to give me something every month. And when you do this, it's passive income. If you don't go show up at your working place, you don't get paid. This, if you do it well, imagine you have 4, like we said, and it's giving you £500, £400 every month. That's £2,000. You could as well to say, keep that job, 24K. But will it not be nice if you have 10, 20, like some people have done, which also I have done. And every month, your bank balance is just cha-ching. You are seeing money coming in every month. It's possible for everybody. Our biggest enemy is fear. Fear. What if interest rate goes up? What Brexit bring doom? What the tenant trashed the house? What, and we don't think of what if interest rate remain 1 point something, 0.75 is been. Interest rate has been so low since 2008, if I'm right. And all over the world, it's likely to remain so for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, because there's slowdown in the world economy. So there is no better time to be investing in real estate. Forget about the negative, look at the positive. Those who bought 10 years ago, they are laughing now at the recession. Oh, everything is going to die. Oh, we saw what happened in 1980 something. Erica, 15%. They now know what they should do better. Now some countries, they have negative interest rates, minus. What we saw in those dark days is not going to happen again. I don't believe so. With the little skill set that I have and what the whole world have seen, they won't want it to happen. They keep printing money, they keep doing all sorts just to make sure things should be where it should be. So cash flow should be your number one reason why you want to invest in property. Number 2, while I'm talking about the tax advantage, I'm also going to talk about the tax disadvantage, because this is an advantage, but one of the bombshell of, what's his name now, George Osborne, was to introduce another tax regime that will make those who hold property in individual names, it won't be more efficient anymore. So if you are investing in property now, moving forward, you should put it in a corporation, limited company. Or else, every income that you earn there, if your rent is 1,000, that's times 12. That's 12,000 £1,000 income for that property. So if you have 4, and it's 1,000 each every month, they will multiply that by 4. That's your gross income. Yes, they will allow their expenditures to be taken out of it, but it's not as efficient as it used to be. But if it's in a corporation, the mortgage element will be taken care of, will be classified as an expense. So what smart investors are doing is to set up limited company. And if you have huge portfolio already, you can put it into a partnership. After 2 years, you can move it into a limited corporation. It's just going to be change of trading style, and it will be, you still be able to avoid paying stamp duty, paying capital gain tax. But I'm not an accountant, I'm not a tax advisor. You can speak to your tax advisor, or tax consultant to guide you through that. For me, one other reason why I invest in real estate is the freedom that it gives to me. You know, like If you go to work, you spend 9 to 10, 9 to 5. You do real estate well, you can be anywhere in the world. Money goes into your account. And that for me is unbelievable. So, but I would say leverage beyond that freedom. Ability to use other people's funds. The bank will not lend you to buy stocks and shares. Never. But they will lend you up, in the good old days, they will lend you 125%. The days of Northern Rock, the days of Mortgage Express. So many things are possible then. But even now, even this dispensation, there's still way around some of these things. So leverage other people's money, other people's time, other people's credit. People say, oh, I don't have a good credit. That's not an excuse. You can use other people's credit. You can use other people's money. You can use other people's time. Because in real estate, you need to bring something to the table. Do you have time to leverage on? Do you have the money? If you don't have money, you should have time. If you don't have time, you should have money. If you don't have money, you should have skill set. I've done real estate for 32 years. If I come to you now and say, look, this is my credential, this is what I've done. I've got this opportunity, I need £100,000. If we do this deal, we're going to make £100,000. And you've seen what I've done. And you believe me, you've seen the credibility, the chances that you part with your money is almost 70-80% because you've seen it and you believe it. And there are so many strategies out there which I want to round up with that for you. So you are doing real estate. If you don't have, it's important that you have these three elements together. Sometimes you might have it, you might have all the three together, but it's always good to look for people who can be part of your team. Erica did mention about that. Have a team. You have teams that have money. You have people that have time to do it for you. You have the skill set. And if you don't have the skill set, buy the skill set. Pay professionals, to do that for you. Capital appreciation. We've been saying that property double 8 to 12 years. Why I didn't want to make this my number one, because a lot of amateurs, this is the reason why they buy property. It's just going to double. But if the economy is in recession for 5 years, 6 years, what do? And it doesn't double. But ultimately, it's still going to appreciate. But when I'm sharing the CALAD model with you, you will see how you can instantly grow that equity that we're talking of, the capital appreciation from day one. You can actually create that capital appreciation yourself. Because of time, I have close to about 10, 20 reasons why I invest in property. But let me just limit it here and share the CALAD model with us, so that when you are investing in the coming year and the new decade, this is discount. D stands for discount. Yeah? It's the last letter, but it's the centerpiece of my investment strategy. Before I buy any piece of real estate, I look for this. There are some instances where you might not want to consider discount because the potential that the property is going to give you, but for me, it's worked for me because I always try to recycle funds. Buy low, what they call below market, BMV. But there are some situations, maybe you are buying a land that you could actually put 20 flats, 14 flats. The location is great. You are going to make good money. You might not want to be arguing about discounts. Okay? So there's exception to the rules. So discount for me, if you are buying 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, 4-bedroom, 1-bedroom flat, always think discount first. And the discount we're talking about is not something that you walk into an estate agent and they say, hey, this property is worth 100,000. You can get it for 80,000. No. Every estate agent wants to sell at the best price for their clients. I'm an estate agent, so I know that you won't get the best deal in most cases with estate agents. So you must develop your strategy on how to get those cheap deals. And I've got somebody in the house, Samoni Banjo. You know, he has so many strategies that can make you to buy property at a below market price. There are so many ways you can. You know, you could walk around your neighborhood yourself and see abandoned property, see property that's not well kept. You know, sometimes we don't take advantage of what is happening around us. How many of you see to let board, for sale boards in your neighborhood? Your neighbors have a board they want to sell. You could knock that door. You thinking of selling? I want to buy. By virtue of you being their neighbor, they could give you 20,000, cut it. Just reduce the price for you because you are neighbor. One, you've been their neighbor for years. This one won't waste my time. If you are credible, if you're a credible neighbor, they say, okay, you sure you want to buy it? They will say to you. Because if you don't ask, you don't get. I've seen a friend of mine, the next door neighbor, somebody died, next door neighbor, and what he did was to just send a small letter, sorry for your loss, if you are thinking of selling, I'm available. Honestly, true life story. When the family decided to sell, they called him. You say you want to buy. Yeah, it's available, mommy. We've had family meeting and we're selling. And they sold that property at a below market price. So you might say, oh, why should you do that? You are not taking advantage. You are just taking advantage of the opportunity that presents itself to you. Or sometimes you see people they are going through repossession. The bank is going to repossess. If you don't assist them, somebody else will do and take advantage. When they want to repossess a property, at that point in time, the owner careless of what they want to make. They just want to be able to have something. Because they will tell you, that's why people go to auction. Because they want speed. They don't want people to mug them about. They want, yes, bam, 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 28 days, the deal is closed. So if you're able to offer that to a vendor, and I remember my first property in this country. You know, I went there and I said, I'm going to buy. The guy had just been disappointed. Somebody who wants to buy, they could not close the deal. And I said, oh, I'm going to close in 1 month. He looked at me and said, what miracle are you going to do? But he didn't know that at that point in time, I was a trained mortgage broker as well. So I know what is possible. And I got 2 mortgage offers for this property, and I gave my wife, give me 30 days if I don't complete, take it over. And I was able to reduce that price for about 14,000, 15,000 discount. This was 2003. So it is possible for you to do the legwork and buy cheap. If you don't want to do the work, there are deal sourcers, people who source deals. That's their job. They sourced for deals. They might charge you 1%, 2%, pay them. Because you can't do it. That's what they do as a job. And like I said, Sam is there in the sitting here. If you are looking for deals, he might be able to help you. You just tell him which location you want, and he will put something together for you. And deals will be coming to you, because this is, every aspect of real estate, this is where the whole engine starts. If you are able to buy a property that's worth 300,000 for 240, come on, you go and look for the money. If you believe that it's genuinely worth that price, that means you are making 60K before day one. And this is why, for me, these components, if I don't get 3 out of it, I won't buy any property. So discount is number 1 for me. The C stands for cash flow. Is he going to pay for himself? Will he watch his face? If he's not going to pay for himself, 500 upward, I won't touch it. And with other strategy like rent-to-rent, HMO, you might be able to even get 1,500, 1,000 more. But I'm just making it basic. You know, you can buy a three-bedroom house with 2 reception. That's 5 rooms. You can decide to rent it out in rooms. Some of us, we've been to uni and we share accommodation with our mates. What are they doing? Rent to rent or HMO. They rent from somewhere and split it into rooms. This is what I'm talking about. If you don't, some of you are looking at me. This is a whole house. And 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes it's even 5, 6. And each of these rooms, they are paying like 600 quid to 800 quid, depending where this property is. If it's in London boroughs, happy day. Imagine you are getting 600 on each. That's about 3,000 plus. The mortgage might just be less than 1,000 pounds or even 1,500. By the time you pay the mortgage 1,000, you pay for the bills, maybe 300 or even 500, 1,500. That same property is giving you over 1,000 plus. And you don't even need to own property to enjoy this kind of benefit. If it's your own, great. But if it's not yours, you can go and rent from an estate agent and decide to split it into rooms. As long as you have all the necessary license to do that. Because if you are doing that, you need to have an HMO license. Once you have that, imagine you have 10 properties that is not yours. It's giving you 1 grand every month. You've come to rent from this brother or this agent, and you have 10. This is what some people are doing all day long in London today. Even in Birmingham, Manchester, everywhere. They rent a property, guaranteed it, take a 5-year lease, and put tenant there. You have spare rooms. Put the property in spare room, people will be knocking your door. Or sometimes people rent 2-bedroom and put it on Airbnb, Booking.com. These days, there's no excuse not to make money in property. No excuse. The playing field is almost level for everybody to come in. If you don't want to do this, you can be a desourcer and make money when people source property and they pay you 1%, 2%. If the property is 300,000, they pay you 1%, that's 3 grand. If it's 2%, 6 grand from just one property. So this is what is possible to increase your cash flow. And I'm sure if you do this very well, you'll be laughing. Some of you, you might even you have your existing property, you can turn it to HMO if it's suitable. But my advice is if you are going to do HMO at all, you need minimum 5 rooms to make it work for you. 5 rooms. Because you need almost 2.5, 3 rooms to cover the cost, and the remaining will be your profit. Also make allowance in case there is void, maybe one room is not let, at least you don't want to struggle. Minimum 5, you have 10, 20 rooms, the better. The more the rooms, the better. The logistic of managing is almost the same. So if you are going to venture into that, do it well. Leverage. This is biggie for me. How can you raise money to fund your real estate investing? You don't need to have money to buy property. You just need to be smart. If I see a property that interests me, money has never stopped me, because I will not sleep until I'm able to create a solution to be able to buy that property. Because I know that it's going to, in the long run, I'm able to pay my investors, I'm able to pay the mortgage. And what am I saying here? Leverage. Who are the people around you that can raise you give you money apart from the bank. A lot of people only consider the bank. A lot of people only consider the bank. But there are private investors there. They don't know where to put money into. So if you have an proposition that will give them a good, decent return, maybe 5%, 7% upward, they will listen to you because their money is in the bank, and the bank is only offering them almost less than 3%. So if you offer them 10%, 12%, you will be their man. So look for other ways. I always look for other ways. Joint ventures, who has money, dormant funds that they don't know what to do. And you never can tell. You don't underestimate anybody. Some people have money under their pillows. Yeah, people have money. You just, until you put a proposal before them, and you now see them and say, yes, I have money. We've talked about cash flow, leverage, appreciation. Both capital appreciation and, both renter appreciation and capital appreciation. What else have I not covered? Discounts, appreciation, leverage. Yes. This is also great. Adding value. You can buy a piece of real estate and add value to it. What do I mean? I always like to buy property that is smelling. The smelly properties. Nobody wants to touch it. It's smelling. What that does, you're able to negotiate. When you walk into that property, you look at it, you appreciate the property. The vendor sees you as somebody who is serious, but at the same time, oh, I need to do a new kitchen here. I need to do a new floor. By the time you are listing everything you are going to be doing, you're actually knocking down the price. If you do this in a very professional way, and I will go and visit that property like twice. First viewing, second viewing, to show that I'm interested in the property. So they will give me time, they'll be confident. When they are telling the estate agent, they say, you know that guy that came twice, that's the one I want to sell. And always build rapport, create relationship. Just don't walk in and walk out. Even if you don't like it, because you never can tell. They might call you back in 1 month's time. That property is still there. Are you able to pay this? Are you able to pay that? But what I do with this is, when I see a good deal with discount, how can I add value to it? And I'll give you a rounding up. I bought a property in Stockwell. A few years ago. It's a 2-bedroom flat just at the back of the station. It's a 2-bedroom flat. And we paid $230 for this flat. That was 2014, I think. We paid $230 for it. And we stripped the whole flat. New boiler, new kitchen, new toilet, everything, new wall, new floor. We spent probably about under $15K. 6 months down the line, they came to value this property for $350. The bank could not believe. They said, what did you do? What did you not do? But they didn't realize that when I was buying, I bought at discount. I had value to it. And that's why, and that's what I'm trying to say, that in terms of capital appreciation, you don't need to wait for 10 years. If you do adding value well, and you buy at discount, and you leverage, you'll be winning. So, my people, because I think my time is over now, I'll just leave this with you. That in the next decade, you can build wealth for yourself. And it is important. It's a must. Not because of you, but because of thousands of people that are depending on you. You need to have a dream that is bigger than yourself. If you dream big, you'll be relevant to our society. A lot of us are not achieving our potential because our dream is small. We need to dream big. Your color is not a limitation. I've built multi-million pound property portfolio in this country, and I'm not saying that because I want to make you feel happy. I'm just saying that to encourage you, to challenge you that you can do it. If I, that was a security guard at the BBC many years ago, can do this, you can do it, and there's no limitation. And when you build this well we're talking about, look for somebody you can hold his or her hands to give them a new life, to impact them. Just one. You don't need too many. Last year, somebody that I paid for his tuition fee to go to uni graduated this year. And when I was reading his test, there's a joy within me that I've impacted a life. And I said, between now and the next year, I want to sponsor 10 people to pay for their university education. One of my friends, we graduated together, but he's a blind, he's handicaped, what's the grammar for it now? Is what? Well, he can't see. I don't want to say blind, but he's impaired. Yeah. And I was speaking with him a few months ago, and he said to me, his son has just gained admission to University of Lasso. And I said to him, what will it cost to pay for that tuition for a year? And when he texted me, I was crying, because to really help someone is not a lot. Some of you that are from Nigeria, 150,000 naira is, if you convert it to pounds, it's less than 400 pounds, about 300 and something. And within me, I said, I'm going to sponsor that son, that guy for the next 4 years. Little things we can do. Don't wait till it's massive. And that is what Beyond Wealth is all about. How can we support a vision that we can give back to people in our community? If we don't do it, nobody will do it for us. You know, it's high time we start doing the talk, walking the walk, and, you know, the continent of Africa, they are waiting for us. But we must start from our Jerusalem, even in the United Kingdom, among ourselves. How can we help ourselves? What can we do to make your next brother better? It's not a competition. It's complementing one another. And if we do that, if we embrace that, beloved, it will be an amazing thing for us as a community. And can you imagine what it will be? Your children, my children, they can say, oh, daddy paid that price. That's why we're here. Mommy paid that price. That uncle paid that price. Let's start doing something together. There's an adage that says that because the colony, the snake colony does not, snake does not work in colony. That's why they become prey to the king of the jungle. Can you imagine python is coming? Cobra is coming? The lion will disappear. Let's stop all this. Can we trust ourselves? No. It's limiting us. Whoever you cannot trust, let him go. Look for the people you can trust. Because if I don't trust you, when will I trust you? And it's not good for us to come to, you know, we generalize in our community. Let's start trusting one another. And we can take this thing to the next level. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for this opportunity.
What a day it's been. How amazing has it been? I'm tired, but at the same time excited at the possibilities. It's gone so well, better than I expected, and everyone is really engaged. Everyone was engaged and wanting to take the next action. So now I'm looking forward to evaluating the event, because it's important to always learn from how things have gone and to improve it for next year. So I'm looking forward to welcoming you next year and for you to just join in, and let's live beyond wealth and let's give back and make the lives of other people better as well.